Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Monday morning. Here we are, May 6th, just for today. Weekend was good. The two recordings that you saw come out over the weekend were in fact recordings. Listen, I'm gonna figure this out as we go. So the timing of it, who can be on, whether it's Ben, Stevie Buckets, whoever else. Um, but like I said in the beginning, some will be recordings, some will be live. This one is in fact live. And yeah, Monday morning. Looking forward to a good week. And let's get right into it. Just for today, May 6th. Are we having fun yet? And this where I'm pulling these from, it's if you just Google just for today, NA just for today, there's I think it's like the very first one that pops up, and you can just click on it and it'll bring up all the it's a PDF version. So anyways, let's get right into it. May 6th, are we having fun yet? And then it says, in time, we can relax and enjoy the atmosphere of recovery. That's from the basic text, page 53 and 54. Imagine what would happen if a newcomer walked into one of our meetings and was met by a group of grim faced people gripping the arms of their chairs with white knuckles. That newcomer would probably bolt, perhaps muttering, I thought I could get off drugs and be happy. Thankfully, our newcomers are usually met by a group of friendly, smiling folk who are obviously fairly content with their lives, with the lives they found in Narcotics Anonymous. What an enormous amount what an enormous amount of hope this provides. A newcomer whose life has been deadly serious is strongly attracted by an atmosphere of laughter and relaxation. Coming from a place where everything is taken seriously, where disaster always waits around the next corner, it's a welcome relief to enter a room and find people who generally don't take themselves too seriously, who are ready for something wonderful. We learn to lighten up in recovery. We laugh at the absurdity of our addiction, our meetings, those rooms filled with the lively, happy sound of percolating coffee, clattering chairs, and laughing addicts are the gathering places where we first welcome our newcomers and let them know that yes, we're having fun now. Just for today, I can laugh at myself. I can take a joke. I will lighten up and have some fun today. This is a good reading. It's a basic reading. I know, as you all know, I'm an AA guy. I go to AA. The reason we're doing the just for today is because the readings they're a lot easier to follow. Um, this particular reading I think is very good because oftentimes in the rooms, whether in any sort of, well, let's just say any sort of group setting, whether it's some sort of anonymous program or if it's any sort of, if you're involved in a small group at your church or whatever the case is, somebody that comes in their very first time, you have really one opportunity to make an impact on them. And I'll just reference restaurants. I love going to restaurants. I love the experience of going to a new restaurant. I love the walking in, seeing the new or the atmosphere. And one of the first people that you interact with when you are going into a restaurant for the very first time is obviously the hostess. Um, that one person can make or break your experience at that restaurant. If you walk into a restaurant and there's a girl that greets you and she's happy and you could just tell she enjoys being there, and she's just a good person, that's a good start, right? And then you go and you sit down, and now you're greeted by your waiter or your waitress, and depending on their attitude, it could shift your experience of the restaurant. And then you have the food, depending on how the food is, could change your experience of the restaurant. Very, very similar. When we walk into a 12-step meeting, oftentimes there's a greeter. And more often than not, those greeters they're happy. They're grateful to be there. They want to greet you. They want to interact with you. You go, you find your seat, and hopefully people come around you. They introduce themselves to you, and you could just start to sense the genuineness of this particular group or meeting or whatever. And then you have the substance of the meeting. I've been to plenty of meetings where the substance just isn't there. It would equate to the food. Does the food taste good? Is it enjoyable? Is the substance of the meeting, is it enjoyable? Is it something that I could come back for? If the restaurant has a good hostess, it has good service, it has good food, and it's at a relatively good price point, which price point inside 12-step meetings plays no impact, I'm going to go back. And it's the same with meetings. If the greeter, if you're met by somebody that you just like right off the bat, people come and they introduce themselves to you, you start making small talk with people, and the substance of the meeting is something that's good, and you feel refreshed while you're there and even after you leave, it's probably going to be a meeting that you want to go back to. So I like this. I like this reading. I think it's very basic. I've been to meetings where people are just, I don't want to be around. You could tell that they just like to hear themselves talk. And there's meetings out there that are like that. And you know what? The beauty of it, you don't have to go back to that meeting and you could find another one. So yeah, I like this. I like this reading, and that's it. So anyways, as far as the live stream, obviously we're part of a bigger thing, which is the podcast, and you could always reach us here, info@realrecoverytalk.com. The podcast is on Spotify, it's on Apple, it's also on YouTube. There's other podcast players, but those are the two primary ones. And if you want to reach me directly, you can obviously reach me, Tom@realrecoverytalk.com. And yeah, great reading. May 6th. Are we having fun yet? We are. We're having fun. All right. Catch you later.